to come on today's video.
Should we talk about driving?
À manger, à la tienne. What do I think of the standards of French driving in this area? They're appalling drivers, and I'll go straight off the bat and say that. You've got to do better.
In terms of breaking the speed limit, if you exceed the speed limit by 40 kilometers an hour, you will get banned.
The French like to tailgate, but before any of that, roll intro. Bonjour les poux, ça va? D'accord, d'accord. À manger, à la tienne. Hang on, the bells. Lovely. Good morning from Département 16, La Charente, the northernmost tip of the southwest of France. More subscribers watched yesterday's video than usual, so thank you. So it would seem as though that you guys like it when I start talking about how best to get to France and the culture here. Loads of comments from the French, and I love the way that when a French person comments, normally in English actually, but you don't have to. They say French here. I love that. So yeah, when you guys comment in French, it helps me learn. So yes, so thank you for doing that. Hello, big man. You're a good boy. Did you have a good sleepies? And you, even bigger man. Good boy. I know. He's definitely not talking to me. So loads of comments yesterday with you guys giving your advice on packing and what stuff to bring over. Yeah, so go and take a look at the comments on yesterday's video, or the one that went out Wednesday, because there's loads of interesting stuff there. And one particular comment which I thought it tickled me, because we found this as well: bring your own duvet and pillows, because it won't fit in the French ones, because the French pillowcases and pillows are square. So you may want to consider that. Anyway, I did have a comment from a couple that were anxious about moving over here and driving over here. And I thought that would be a good, provocative conversation to have. Bear in mind, may get some trolleys, but I don't care. And you lot know that I don't care. But I'm not purposefully inviting trolls to comment. It's just what my perceptions are of a professional driver. Yes, what can I drive? I can drive cars to a high standard, tanks. So I've got my tracked vehicle license, so I'm trained to that to a really high standard, especially having come under fire. And also motorbikes, you're to a standard level. So what I'll do is, I've got a few jobs around here that I need to do, and then we'll talk about French driving in an honest way.
If I can't be with you, I'd rather be by myself. No, I can't lie, I don't want anybody else. Those happy days that we once knew,
absolutely glorious, glorious afternoon. Managed to get a few jobs out of the way. Anyway, should we talk about driving? Now, I'm going to have to refer to my phone for this one because I've been doing a bit of due diligence before I start talking on my arse. Now, remember, these are my opinions. They're not shared by everyone, and it's centric probably just to this area. You know, standards of driving might be different in the Dordogne. It's certainly going to be different in Paris. But so the French take driving very, very seriously here, and so you can drive what's called a sans permis. I think it's a VSP, a voiture sans permis, or a microcar, and basically you can drive that from the age of 14, believe it or not, and you can carry no more than one passenger, I believe. And they've got a maximum speed restriction of 28 miles an hour, which I think is 54, which is 45 kilometers an hour. Or if it's a diesel engine or an electric engine, it's 5.4 horsepower. So you can drive them from the age of 14. Now, we had a couple of girls who used to part own Wally when he was in the stables, and they came to see him and they crashed into our fence. So it's 14 an appropriate age to be driving solo, but you can drive a proper vehicle, normal size, from the age of 15, just as long as you're accompanied by somebody who is 18 or above. But with these sans permis, you know, you can't go on the you can't go on the major routes, and you can't go on the big boy girl roads. In terms of breaking the speed limit, if you exceed the speed limit by 40 kilometers an hour, which is I'm going to say about 24 mile an hour, yeah, maybe a bit more, you will get banned. And you know, so the penalties for speeding over in France is a lot more stringent than what they are in the UK, and so that's good. But I've put it to ChatGPT, and I've basically asked what the internet thinks of the standards of driving in France, and it's pretty close to what my opinion is. But it does say that the French see we call it the Road Traffic Act of 1988, but and I'm sure the French have got similar legislation, and they treat it more like guidelines as opposed to rules like stop signs or rolling stop. So in France, you are immediately awarded 12 points on your license, which is completely the opposite to the UK. And am I going to have to do this again because I didn't have this on here? Idiot. If I am, apologies. I might just need to raise the sound. Where was I? So you are given 12 points automatically, whereas in England you are given no points, and then the more points you earn, you've got a maximum of 12, and then you've got a totting up ban. But in France you are given 12, or if you're a new driver you're given 6, and if you repeatedly break the law, then you'll have your license taken away from you, and massive fines. So what do I think of the standards of French driving in this area, to be as diplomatic as I can? Well, overall, the French are good drivers, but there are nuances which could be confusing to the people in the rest of the world. They're not as bad as Spain or Italy. They're appalling drivers, and I'll go straight off the bat and say that. You've got to do better, any Spanish people. So the French like to tailgate. They don't understand or ignore stopping distances. Now, I'm careful with this. So we have the 2-second rule. So if you see a car passing the distance, pass a static point, you must say, I must not break the 2-second rule. And the length of time it takes you to say that is 2 seconds. And if you've passed that point before you finished it, then you're driving too close to the car in front. I know from experience, I've rear-ended a car when I first passed my test, and I rear-ended a car on my motorbike
for riding too closely just before we came out here, and that was really, really expensive. So tailgating is a thing. Unnecessary overtaking. Hold on, there's a wasp. Go on. Unnecessary overtaking. And what I mean by that is, I don't mind being overtaken if you're making progress. But to overtake just to be in front of me, to do the exact same speed as me, and a dangerous overtake, just seems absolutely unnecessary and pointless. The lack of courtesy. Waving. We wave a lot in the UK. It doesn't mean that we necessarily mean it, but that's something that we do, and they don't tend to do that here. Apart from the lorry drivers and farmers, yeah, they'll always wave back if they've put you at an inconvenience. The French know the roads like the back of their hands, you know, so they just assume that everybody else does. So when you first come over here, you're really going to need to make room, and you will be the one that pulls over the most rather than the French, because the French know their roads and we don't yet. What else? Indicators. And this confused me, but on the auto routes, yeah, the big motorways, they will indicate to overtake, but they'll keep the indicator on and then indicate back in. Whereas I was certainly taught on my driving course that you only indicate if it's going to benefit another vehicle, and you cancel the indicator. As soon as you've finished that manoeuvre, you don't keep it on. You know, so I was confused for a long time. I just thought that the French were forgetful, but it's not. I think it's something that they're actually taught. All right, let me see if there's anything else. Oh, so this is interesting. The differences. So in the UK, you are permitted to have in your breath 35 micrograms of alcohol per litre of breath, which roughly equates to 2 pints of normal strength beer. In France, it's less. It's 25 micrograms, so it's a whole 10 less. But for a new driver, it's 10, so it goes down even more. And so it says on here, even one small drink could put a new driver over the limit. And a new driver would ordinarily be a young person, and their tolerance to alcohol will probably be less too. And a new driver is somebody classified as driving with less than 3 years. Professional drivers, e.g. bus, truck and taxi drivers, again, 20 micrograms per litre. But because the sans-permis vehicles are classified as quads, basically, you can get banned from driving a normal vehicle, but you're still permitted to use the sans-permis. So you don't automatically lose your right to drive in France, because France has a national policy on it's every French person has a right to drive, because and I'm assuming it's because the country's so big. So you get banned from driving a big car, but you can drive a sans-permis going no more than 28 miles an hour. Don't go away. It's not the end of the video. It's only 21 seconds out of your life. But isn't that time view of the Chiron? I'll see you tomorrow. Here today, 32. You enjoying the weather?
I am enjoying the weather, yes.
So you don't know this, but yesterday I spoke to the camera, spoke to the people that are going to watch this video.
Yeah.
And I think I gave a fairly balanced view of the standards of French driving.
Right.
So what would you say are, in this area, the standards of driving in France? Bearing in mind that not everyone we see is going to be French. Could be the English driving. What do you reckon?
Well, obviously we've got country lanes, so they drive in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And then when we're passing, it's very normal for us to move out of their way, but them not to move out of ours.
Yeah.
And they do like to drive very close to you.
What, from behind, tailgating?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about the habit of driving up to a junction as if they are not going to stop?
Oh yeah, you have to be careful at junctions just in case they don't. And maybe overhang a little.
Yeah, because it's as if they're driving up and then emergency stop.
Yeah, but we're used to that now.
Yeah. But in general, yeah, the friends can drive well,
Yeah.
I think. And now there are some idiots in England, aren't there? There's some absolute idiots in England. But yeah, I'll be interested to know. So the way we're taught in England, certainly in the fleet, certainly in the place, is using the IPSCA model, information, position, gear, speed, acceleration. Information, position, speed, gear, acceleration. And so you do that in that order, you know. So you give information and you receive information. You then position your vehicle. You then adjust your speed. Then you select the right gear, and then you accelerate out of the hazard or junction. So I'll be interested to see how the French are actually taught. Anyway, we're not going to do much today, are we?
Sunbathing.
No. I'm going to jump on the bike, go to La Rochefoucauld, and
Get the horses out of the...
yeah, get the horses out of the heat, put them in the Abri Cheval.
They'll go in the shade where the trees are.
Yeah. So whatever next is, no idea what it is. Let's do that. Elisa's just seen JP's beret on the kitchen table. She went, oh, what's that doing there? So I'm going to chase you around the garden. She went, no, I'm not. No, it was there because I've literally just been in the car and recorded the thumbnail. I've got to be careful because there's 50% neighbours, French neighbours where I am. Anyway, so case in point. I'm riding through Angoulême. I'm approaching a mini roundabout, and I shit you not, there is an old man driving, wearing a beret, and he's got 2 baguettes on his passenger seat, and he just pulls straight out in front. And I shouted at him, no, in English. And he stops, otherwise he wouldn't have done. He would have taken me out. Anyway, super excited for Monday's video. Got a big ride tomorrow. So I had to go to Angoulême to go and get myself a tank bag, but I can't say too much more than that. So hope you all had a great Thursday, Friday. See you on Monday. Laters.